The movie starts with Hutch, who is inside a hotel. Hutch sees a gangster with his goons going inside the elevator. Meanwhile, Hutch places an out-of-service sign in front of the elevator and goes inside the elevator. Hutch fights the goons in the elevator and beats them all unconscious. He then takes a card from the gangster. Upon exiting the elevator, he encountered a group of armed goons. The goons shot bullets at Hutch, but Hutch managed to dodge the bullets. He then grabbed a cylinder and hurled it towards the goons. The cylinder exploded with a massive blast, resulting in the death of all the goons. As soon as Hutch comes out of the hotel, other thugs also arrive in cars. Hutch then takes out his belt and uses it to tie a small steel pipe to his hand. He then fights the goons and kills them all. Hutch now works for the barber to pay off his debt. He owes this debt because, to save Hutch's life, the barber had to give money to the Russian mafia, whose money he had burned in the first part of the movie. Because of his work, Hutch is unable to give his family much time, and the distance between him and his wife and children is increasing. One day, Becca tells Hutch that they should go on a vacation with their children. Hutch then goes to the barber and tells him that he needs a break and wants to go on a vacation with his family, to which he agrees. Hutch returns home and tells his wife and children that they are going on a vacation in Plummerville, and his father, David, will also be joining them. The next day, they all leave for Plummerville. After a long journey, they reach Plummerville. In the arcade, Brady gives some tickets to a few girls. At the same place, a boy named Max is also present with his friends. He gets jealous seeing Brady talk to the girls. He then comes to him and says, "How dare you talk to my girls?" Max tells Brady to say sorry, but when he refuses, Max snatches the doll from Sammy's hand and tears it up. Brady then punches him in the face, and they both start fighting. Meanwhile, a security guard arrives and grabs Brady, throwing him aside. The guard then talks rudely to Hutch as well. As they are leaving, that security guard slaps Sammy on the head, which makes Hutch very angry. They all come out of the arcade. Hutch says to Becca, "I left my phone inside the arcade, I'll go get it." He goes inside the arcade and beats up that security guard badly. The sheriffs then bring them to the police station. A shady sheriff, Abel, comes to Hutch and brings him to Wyatt, Max's father. He rules the entire town. Hutch tells Wyatt, "Your son messed with my son." Hutch tells him he will ask his son to apologize. He also explains that he beat the security guard because the security guard slapped his daughter. Wyatt then lets them all go. Before releasing Hutch and his family, Abel tells Hutch to get out of here as quickly as possible. Abel tells Dan, "Get the boys." But Dan tells him that Wyatt is ordered to leave him alone. Abel tells Dan, "I don't care what Wyatt said. If he isn't gone by tomorrow, you finish him off." Hutch comes to give his wife and children a ride on a duck boat. Meanwhile, he sees Sheriff coming towards him with 3 men. He then has his wife and children get into the duck boat, but he does not get in himself. Hutch gets into the second duck boat, and Dan and his men also get on the same boat. Dan tells Hutch, "Abel told you to leave the town, didn't he? What are you still doing here?" Dan's men fight Hutch. Hutch beats them badly. Meanwhile, Dan cuts off one of Hutch's fingers with a knife. Then, one of Dan's men punches Hutch in the face and throws him into the water. Hutch gets back on the duck boat and beats both of Dan's men badly. He then makes Dan unconscious by continuously punching him in the face. Hutch then calls his stepbrother, Harry. He tells Harry that he has brought his family to Plummerville for a vacation. This is the same place where David used to bring them for vacations in their childhood. Hutch tells Harry that the sheriffs here are causing a problem for him. Henry tells him that the sheriffs there work for a big crime syndicate. Hutch then calls the barber. He tells him that he is currently in Plummerville and has gotten into a fight with the town sheriffs. The barber tells Hutch that all the cops and park operators there work for Lendina. The barber also warns Hutch that if he gets into trouble with Lendina, she will not spare his family. Then, we see Lendina, who, in her casino, kills a man because he was cheating. She then calls Wyatt, who tells her that this is the last shipment. After this, his debt will be cleared and he will not give her anything else. Lendina tells Wyatt, "If you do this, you will die just like your father." Lendina then calls Abel and tells him to kidnap Wyatt's son. Dan calls Abel and tells him that he is no ordinary tourist, he is very dangerous. Hutch then comes to Wyatt's hideout, where a lot of Lendina's money, drugs, and chemicals are lying. Hutch tells Abel, "I don't want to cause any more trouble. Let me and my family go from here, or I will burn all this money, drugs, and chemicals." Harry tells Hutch, "You're lucky, I've forgiven you. Take your family and get out of here." Just as Hutch starts to leave, he sees that they have captured Wyatt's son. At first, he leaves, but then he returns and beats Abel's men badly, and also beats Abel. However, by mistake, all the money, drugs, and chemicals get burned. Hutch then brings his family and Max from the town to his father's cabin. Hutch tells Becca, "I cannot control myself, take the children and go somewhere far away from me forever." Becca tells him, "I am your wife, I will never leave you." Hutch then meets Wyatt and tells him that while trying to save his son, he burned all their money, chemicals, and drugs. Lendina finds out that Hutch has burned all her money, drugs, and chemicals, so she leaves for the town with all her goons. Wyatt then sends all the tourists out of the park. Harry also arrives there to help Hutch. Then, they all place bombs and weapons throughout the park. A little while later, Lendina also arrives there with her goons. Meanwhile, Abel comes to Wyatt and Hutch, and he tells them to throw down their guns and come with him, promising to get them all out of there. But they don't listen to him. Abel then starts to walk toward Lendina. Just then, Lendina's goons shoot and kill Abel. Hutch kills some of Lendina's goons by shooting them. Some of Lendina's goons die in a bomb blast that they had planted. David also kills many of Lendina's goons by shooting them. On the other side, Lendina's henchman Cartouche reaches the cabin with Lendina's goons, but Harry is already there. He kills Lendina's goons, then he fights with Cartouche. They have a fierce fight. However, Harry manages to kill him. Hutch then fights with two of Lendina's henchwomen. Both of them beat Hutch badly. Lendina then tells her two henchwomen to kill Hutch. Just as one of them is about to shoot Hutch, Wyatt kills her by shooting her in the head. He then also kills the other Lendina's henchwoman by shooting her. Meanwhile, Lendina threw the dagger at Wyatt, and it struck him in the chest. Lendina then takes out her dagger and is about to slit Hutch's throat. Just then, Becca arrives there and hits Lendina with a tranquilizer dart. Meanwhile, David blows up the entire park with bombs. Hutch, Becca, and Wyatt jump into a swimming pool, while Lendina and her other goons die from being burned. Then we see Hutch and Becca in an FBI investigation room. Meanwhile, that FBI agent gets another call from his head, who tells him to free Hutch and Becca. This time again, those two FBI agents end up freeing Hutch and Becca, and the movie ends here.